How's it going, everybody? It's your boy McWhoopin, and today we are back with yet another episode of Cities Skylines. And today we are finally gonna start doing some zoning and some community areas. So today we are planning on, we're gonna actually build the Hippie community, the Hippie Commune, and the organic farming. So that is kind of where we're going to go with, just because it's started over here with getting the hydroelectric dam. Might as well keep them building up. We'll get the organic farming, get the Hippie Commune going, get all that done, and then move on to the other and better areas, like moving into suburbia, getting the main farmland being built, all that stuff. We'll start doing that in future episodes. But today we'll start here, just because it's just a natural progression from starting off of the dam. So might as well just continue on building from here. So we will do that. And as I said before, we're going to change the way we do this. We're going to do this via time lapse, so we can get like an hour and a half's worth of recording in like 30 minutes. So we're not having super long videos, but I can get a lot of stuff done. So we will start doing the time lapse now, and I will do a little exit at the end. Plus, got a couple of new camera settings, so we will work on that in the end as well, and kind of do a nice little flyby of what we have accomplished in this episode. So without further ado, let us get started. Okay, so first things first here, I'm going to grab myself the intersection here. I'm just going to try to copy this over here in this area, just so we can have a secondary entrance, one specifically for the Hippie Commune, because that is something we're kind of going to need. So that was what my first idea was, is to get that in. Find a nice little area here, plop that thing down, and then come in, reconnect all the roads, try to keep everything attached properly. There's always just a little bit of issues with trying to get the roads to connect in as you want them to. And then there's occasional issues with kind of everything connected from one to the other, so we have to do some adjustment of the roads here, just so everything kind of fits back into place, and then you can start running that line through. And of course, there's the occasional issue of anarchy, that you need to kind of delete those pieces, so we really get everything connected that way. And then we have a line running in that direction as well, so now we can get ourselves a nice little loop of the area. So we have our main line going through town, and we'll just build ourselves a bridge over top here, so they have access to the farmland when we actually finish building that in, because I'm going to want to have all the people living in the commune to go work on the organic farming, so that's something that we want them to have access to. And then we just finish off that line going in from the main highway. So there's technically two ways to get into the Hippie Commune and the organic farm. It's just really long ways around each other, so it kind of gives its own independent way to get in, but they still can get in another way, which I think will work out nicely for us in terms of traffic and everything. So we haven't actually done this in any sort of long-term kind of capacity yet, as the town grows and all that. Might not be the best way, but you know what, in a few episodes we'll be taking a look just to see if it actually did work or not. spoiler for at the moment, it does work quite nicely, but as I said, it is still very early on, so whether or not it will work in the long run is a whole different ballgame altogether. And now I'm just trying to find myself a nice road to kind of use to connect this through, which I was trying to find a road that I can use for the trams, but I ended up picking up the wrong one, grabbed the LRT ones accidentally. So then it was okay, well, reselect it, go through again, find the tram with tram with bike lane. That's what I end up using, because this is the Hippie Commune, so those hippies are going to be using the bike lanes quite often, so I wanted to put in lots of bike lanes for them to pit around in, and then of course give them extra options to go through going up. So this would be another 4-lane road. Which I eventually find the right road that I want to use for it. There we go. Got the nice trees with bike lanes and the trolley, so you can do anything you want on it. Perfect little road. And then we just extend that all the way around the highway area, and then connect your way up to the top of that one. So nice little ring area around the town, which I hope should give everybody perfect access, which again, we'll see how this ends up turning out in the long run, but short term works very nicely for us, so can't really complain too much. And now is the part where we're just going to start getting in some of our smaller roads. Oh, we're putting in the trolley facility first, but originally I was just thinking of putting in the lines first and then kind of working with where we're going to put the roads. But then I thought, it's probably not the best idea. I should probably do it the other way around. So when I'm about to go select the road and start putting in and try to figure out, okay, well, where's that first line? I don't remember. It's hard to see. So eventually I try to figure out the way how to actually get to this, which this one what's called transit mod I am not a fan of. It's not as easy of a way to figure out what's going on with the lines, so I'm probably going to end up swapping it out and putting in a different what's called a different transit mod, so I can do something better with it in the long run, just because it's not that good for me functionality. And here I'm trying to build myself my own little cul-de-sac. I got a nice, try to make it look like an actual old, regular normal cul-de-sac kind of thing. Instead of using one of the pre-built ones, and try to get as many houses as I can through there. And then I went to the zoning mod, which I downloaded to actually move zoning off that corner, so I can get the extra house in that cul-de-sac, and then place the housing all along there to get that going. And at this point now, I started going through and selecting all of the zoning and bylaws for the hippie community, so we could actually get everything in there, like recycling and all that stuff. So basically, it's going to cost more money for that area, but it's gonna basically hippify it as much as it can. You know, like doing anything to reduce pollution, or encourage cycling, all that stuff. Did not do electric cars, just because I still don't think the validity of electric cars is really anything at this point. They don't have the range, because battery technology hasn't actually changed at all in the last couple of decades. And the only thing that's changed in terms of electric vehicles is just the size of the battery inside the car. So that's the reason why I never actually bothered with it. It's more from a realist standpoint. But at this point now, I'm going to start getting the water going. So getting our eco treatment plant in there, getting a couple of tanks. I'll get a couple of the eco treatment plants in, a couple of water tanks on each side, just to kind of make it look like it's all part of the same network. And then also put in a couple of water towers at each of the little loops at the interchanges, so they look like it's part of the entrance to the town. And then I'm doing the more logical thing and actually running my water pipes along the road, as opposed to doing the grid style, which I think it works better from a realism standpoint to do it this way. Plus, again, since I'm doing it unlimited cash, I don't really need to care about the cost of the water pipe, so I can just kind of do it this way. And then just run those lines all along through. End up doing this a couple of times throughout, just to kind of make sure you got everything connected. And then at this point, it's just going to be continuing on going on, getting some more zoning, getting some more roads, and at this point now I'm going to start peppering in, the high density stuff in there, setting some apartment buildings along the roads. Also going to be popping in a couple little commercial spots around there as well, just because you always need those little commercial areas around. See, there we go. Little tiny Foursquare kind of thing, just as a spot for the kids to go out and pick up some candy from the store, or you need to go grab smokes before you abandon your family. That's where you go over there. And so that's why I'm popping those in there. But just kind of building this up, let this go. And of course, you're going to need lots of commercial anyways. I'm just going to grab the actual paintbrush itself and just paint it all along the side. I did not do the inside part of the roads. I might do it at a later date, but for the time being, I just kind of like no real need, so I didn't bother. But now finally letting it play out so we can get some growth actually happening. While I continue on doing roads and expanding this out like so. And right here, deciding gonna make myself a little bit of a park. So kind of just readjusting everything, And popping the park in there. Which should end up looking quite nice by the time this is all done. Yeah, unfortunately, initially I used the wrong zone, so didn't pay attention to. I'm like, whoopsie. So that's why I reselected it all, put that into the original district again, and then come back in, put these small side gates in there so we can have everything properly connected. And just this is a small little basic park here. Just run the water lines through. Yeah, this point is what I should probably start getting the industry going, as I can already see that its industry has like a huge max demand for it. So I'm like, okay, well, start putting our farming in, and so come on, put a little dirt road there, put the industry, let's actually color that one in, so we're going to recolor that one up, because I forgot to actually do it. I just zoned it as a regular zone, not a farming zone, so it's the same thing with the park. My brain just wasn't in it. This was actually doing this late at night, so I kind of forgot some of the basics, so at this point here, I put in a bunch of what's called oh my god, my brain is just not working today. Bunch of the employee houses, so we can get the efficiency up, and then also put the maintenance building at the end. And now putting in one in each of the fields, so the orchards and the regular fields, putting all those in there. And then I'm also going to put in the pastures as well, which I only put in 3 just because there was a space for more. So only did one type of cow. That was kind of just a way to differentiate between them all, so just so we have one of everything in that area. And then at this point, doing the one thing that I never really do, but now I'm going to finally start doing more of, which is actually doing some work with details, so actually putting in fences, so it ends up looking more like an actual proper farm. Here I'm having issues with node snapping, so even running in with trying to turn off node snapping and all that stuff, none of it's working. So only option I could think of would be to click on the side and then just use the move it mod to kind of move into place to center it. So it ends up working fine that way, so I just, do it that way to make it easier for us in the long run. So there we go. Just doing that again. And putting the fences in there, so it makes it look a lot more like these are properly divided properties. So I actually think it looks quite nice. So could be something I'm going to be doing a lot more of. Unfortunately that bounced for some reason after I clicked on the button, which is annoying, but well, just use the movement wand a little bit and get it to work, and there we go. Showing off those nice grids, looking really nice up over there. Popping in a few regular commercial buildings, just so commercial industrial buildings. There will be farm-based industrial buildings, but at least there are industrial buildings in that area, which I want to give a little bit of a mixture of both types of industry, just to make it look a little bit more of a regular farming area. Plus, sometimes the game doesn't like to register the industry's actual things as part of an actual industry demand. So I always like to sprinkle those in there just so it has something to kind of latch onto, saying, okay, there's some industry jobs. I don't know why it does that, but for me, at least, whenever I've played the game, I notice that it doesn't really pull in as much in terms of this is actually a industry job. I don't know why. Yeah, so now it's time to put in some walking paths. Wanted to make this really path dependent, so like people can walk around, do whatever they want. This is like trying to minimize as much traffic as possible, especially with the fact that there's going to be lots of the trolley line running all the way around. So you could always have access to buses, so you want to be able to walk to your public transit whenever you need to. And so you always got those exits onto the main road, and then connecting between all the different smaller roads around there. There we go, so they're starting to look nice now. We're going to put in all of our amenities because they are going to be required for this place, so might as well get them in there. I'm getting in all of my hospitals, the schools, the fire department, police station. You need to get all those in there. So these guys will be happy and good to go, and we can also build up our levels on our houses, because we want to get those up to level 5 and keep them up there. I want that to be like one of my burgeoning communities, just because it's going to be small and I want it to be very low maintenance for me, so keep them open. So just put them over there, keep them happy, give them everything they need, and just never have to deal with them again is the best part, because they are a bunch of small hippies. So you don't want to deal with them if you don't have to, so I don't want to. So that's why I'm doing it. And I was getting annoyed with just for some reason, there's a video glitch with my game that it constantly just pixelates the names on my stuff once it loads in. So I need to change my name to something, so I just changed it to like Town 2 until I figure out something else to put in for a town name, which don't know what it's going to be yet, but there will be something. I'll definitely be taking any suggestions that anybody offers me, so if they have an idea of what I should do for a name for the town, definitely post it down in the comments, and we'll probably end up using one of those names if anybody actually does offer anything. Feel free to do so. Looking forward to seeing any and all of the stuff that they're suggesting. So yeah, now I'm actually going to start setting up the tram line, which again, this is one of the reasons why I don't like this transport mod, is that it just doesn't make any sense. It's still showing the line 1, which I already deleted, and it wouldn't, and you actually turn it off until afterwards, so like, this makes no sense. So yeah, this is a refuge one. I'm going to probably go back to the one that I had from before. Probably in a couple of episodes, so I'll probably switch back over to that one just because this is not my favorite app. This is not my favorite version of it, so just gonna keep on going through here. I'm gonna do the route in both clockwise and counterclockwise, so you don't have to go all the way around the city just to get one block the opposite direction. You do have those options to be able to get where you need to go. And there we go, so that's now done. And yeah, so it's still more just trying to get these things to work properly. I'm like going through and trying to look at these settings here. It's like all this stuff, you know, this is way too much extra stuff for me to actually want to figure out, because this is just kind of too much information for me. I just want to be able to lower or raise my amount of vehicles that I have on the routes. All I really need to be able to do with these things, and like if you lower or raise the routes, like if you do it a little specific, then they don't. Yeah, I don't know which ones actually work properly, which ones don't work. So this is just, it's really confusing for just trying to do something basic. So I'm like, yeah, I'm probably done with that. But here they are. Here's the tram. So now we're actually gonna follow along with it, be able to actually see our town as it starts growing around us. So we got ourselves a nice little tour of the town here. Looking really nice. I probably should have fixed the figured out a way to fix the blurriness before actually doing this. But again, I don't think I've actually done this kind of view on my game before, so you know, gonna have to bear with me on this one for at least the first time around. Next time if I do this, I'll try to make sure I figure out the blurriness issue, so we can actually get a clear view of everything around us. There we go, so now we're back up to the first one again. I got ourselves a little bit of a view of our city, and look at that, some of our buildings going up really nice right now. We've got a couple of big apartment buildings, so people are liking it. They are upgrading already. And popping a little pathway between the two sets of roads there. On this side as well. I could turn those into little parks, make everybody super happy over there. And then I'll finally gonna start putting in a few little amenities and stuff inside of actual park that I built. Trying to get some people in there to be happy. Put a few extra lampposts around there. And build a little sitting area around here. We have a bunch of garbage bins, you know, some what's called picnic tables, and then surrounded by a bunch of flower beds. And pop in a couple of food carts so everybody can eat inside of there. And give them a little bit of a kiddie play area over there. You know, lots of options for what they can do. And then we'll start filling this out with various different amenities. And putting in doing our zoning, getting that stuff done, getting all this area properly completed. And we'll just start filling out the last of this section here. You know, all that going on, there we go. Yeah, now popping up businesses all along the side road here. As we have those grow up as well. Trying to keep our commercial demand up as well. And remember that we need to get silos in there and the barns, so start putting a couple of those in there so they have places to store the products if they need them. And we'll be doing a lot more with that farm, actually putting in the actual process and stuff like that, but that's gonna be for a future episode. For now, just kind of getting things in there. And also forgot about death care, so got ourselves a cemetery. Pop that in there. And pop in a crematorium right beside it, so in case it gets full, we have a spot to clear out the bodies. And then our elder care and child care. Put a couple of additional little spas and yoga buildings, stuff like that, and try to keep our citizens healthy. And then lastly, coming through here, popping in little tiny parks, getting those all around there. And then trying to kind of match it, you know, putting like kind of playground areas around the elementary schools, and like basketball court or whatnot near a high school, so something kind of matches the school, what kind of school it would be. Yeah, so there you go. There's a little soccer pitch right behind the high school. I'm gonna put a little fence all around it, so it's kind of walled off from everything else. So kick the ball, you kick the ball and hit the fence, and you'll come back in, so you're not smashing it through somebody's property. There we go. And also, so the kids can't escape; they have to go to school. Got no choice in the matter. They're locked up like prison, like school was. And that's going to be pretty much about it for this episode. And we'll finish it off by doing a nice little flyover of all the changes that we did so far. And there you have it, folks. There's my nice little view of the Hippie Commune and the organic farm kind of starting to take shape here. May do a little bit of just kind of tacking on and finishing up over here, but we got a good chunk of this going. Industries going in. We got lots of commercial. We got our residential going in really nicely. Got parks going through. We got paths. Really starting to get going. It's costing us a crap ton of money. We're losing lots of money, but thankfully we're on limited cash flow, so we can do stuff like this. But we will end it here for tonight. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and all that, as it definitely helps the algorithm and helps the channel. So anybody who does do that is always truly appreciative. And even if you don't, just watching the show, which is more than we thought anybody would ever actually do. So we're always thankful for you guys for doing that as well. So as I said, we'll end it here for tonight. So again, I'd like to thank you for watching and have yourselves a good night.